How's it going? This is Dylan with Dylan Pickups and Dylan Talks Tone. I'm actually just cooking breakfast and drinking coffee. But as I do this, we're gonna talk about resale value, because I think as guitar players, musicians in general, I think we hurt ourselves with resale value a lot. And I've been noticing it on social media lately. That people are, they just really hurt it. So let's talk about it in a couple of steps. Pedals and used gear, used guitars, stuff like that. This kind of goes along with my should I modify my guitar video from the other day. So many people just kind of follow the, well, honestly, so many people are super cheap. And they're looking for a deal on every little thing. And you know, deals are to be made like when somebody has a divorce or somebody is starving to death and they're about to be homeless, so they sell everything except for one guitar, because you never sell your last guitar, right? That's when you get a deal. But for these people that jump online and are be like, well, what's your bottom dollar? They jump on Reverb, what's your bottom dollar? I'm gonna try to get you down another 10 bucks or $5 just to feel like I got a deal. That's just hurting everybody. That just hurts everybody, and it hurts you. So I'll give you an example. Last week I bought, or well, I ordered actually. I ordered a new Phase 90. Ordered it from a local shop instead of buying it on Reverb. And the reason is because they're only $100. So they're not an expensive pedal. You go on Reverb or you go on somewhere and you only really get them for like $25 or $30 less than a new one. I just didn't feel like that was worth it. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy a new one so I can have a new one. Instead of jumping online and trying to, you know, knock somebody down to half the retail price of the thing and make me feel like I got a good deal and hurting the whole thing, I'll just go get a new one. The thing about it is, let's say I don't like this. So let's say I do this. So let's say I buy a used Phase 90. I see one on Reverb for 80 bucks and I'm like, dude, can you, what's your bottom dollar, blah, blah, blah. I push you down to 50 bucks and I get the thing for $50. And everything else on Reverb is selling for $65, $70. And I get the guy down to 50 bucks. And then I get the pedal here and I don't like it. And then I put it back on Reverb. And now Reverb says the last sale of one of these sold for 50 bucks. Because it's got the little thing over in the corner that talks about what these things have been going for. A couple of guys do that, and now you can only get 50 bucks out of a Phase 90. When all they're really doing is pushing the value down by honestly just being cheap. The pedal's only $100 brand new anyway, okay? So the other extreme, so don't do that. Don't do that to another guy. We're all musicians, we're all playing music. We're all trying to find the next guitar, the next pedal, the next whatever. And we're trying to get as much as we can out of this stuff. And of course there's reasonableness to it because it goes the other way too. Go try to get any Strymon pedal for $40 or $30, more than 40 or 30 or so dollars less than a new one. That's dumb. I mean, I know the pedal's good, but if an El Capistan is 300 bucks and you go on Reverb and a used one is $250, the thing comes with a 5-year warranty. It doesn't make sense. Buy a new one, right? So I think on both sides of it, people are hurting each other. We're hurting each other by how much we try to knock down each other for $5 or $10. It just doesn't make sense. Let the stuff be what it is. And now, you know, if you're trying to get a super good deal on Craigslist and you see a guy that's got like 6 pedals for $200, and you know, I mean, that's like rummage sailing, right? Like that's rummage sailing, sort of. That's, you know, that's yard sailing for pedals. But the thing is that where we use eBay and we use Reverb kind of for the benchmark about like how much stuff costs. And you know, we do it to each other in Facebook groups and stuff too. You know, buy sell pages and stuff like that. It just feels like people just beat each other up. And it's not because there's a good deal out there to get. It's because they're cheap. That's all there is to it. It's because you're cheap. I want to feel like I got a good deal. What is that? Like, you're hurting yourself in the long run because you're going to sell that pedal. That's all there is to it. You're going to sell that pedal or that guitar or whatever. So you're just hurting yourself. So, alright, so the other thing I want to talk about this morning is value and boutique builders. When we talk about parts, pedals, guitars, I've almost heard it in these words. You don't deserve to charge what somebody else gets to charge because nobody's ever heard of you. I've heard that. I mean, it's a really... It's a mean thing to say, honestly. I mean, this sounds like a teenager way to say it, but it is. It's, why do we do that to each other? It doesn't make sense. And guitar players are some of the worst about it. So, why do we do that? I mean, it's ridiculous. Anybody can get, I mean, you can go to, anybody who wants to build a pickup, or a parts caster Telecaster, or even a pedal, can go to one of these companies online and get a kit and put it together for, you know, however much money, and it can look nice and it can play well and it can be good, but not as a business model. And they can sell it cheap, but not as a business model. It costs to do business, and it costs to bring the product to other people. And if you have something so good that you want other people to have it, you have to structure everything and price everything in such a way that you can bring it to them. It costs money to bring this thing that I know is really good to bring it to you. It costs that. It costs money to do that. And the interesting thing about it is that to have a business plan from the beginning, even though you're very, very small, reflects foresight on your part that you know that this thing is this good, that you're doing all of this ahead of time and pricing the thing properly. You cannot ask people for more money later. If I sold a made at, because you can find Telecaster pickups, homemade ones online for 30, 40 bucks, but that's not a business plan. It's not they will not stay solvent doing that. And you cannot go to a distributor, you cannot go to a dealer, you can't go to you won't be able to make any money if you go to have dealers or sell to luthiers or any kind of business plan selling at that price. You can't do it. So you can't go backwards. I can't come to you and say, well, I know that last year my product cost X, and now that it's bigger, I need to charge more. You can't do that. Nobody can do that. That's not, you can't stay in business doing that. So if for those of us that are really good at what we do, no matter whether you've heard of us or not, we got to plan ahead because we want you to have it. And truthfully, I don't bring something to market unless it's really good, right? Stuff is spicy. So don't beat people up over that. I mean, I would ask you not to, and it would make sense. Good manners, right? Not to beat people up just to beat people up over price. And I think we would all win. We'd be better off if all of us did that. And I know I can't change the world with one video. There's a reason for everything, and there's a reason why something is priced a certain way. There's a reason why they have a certain value when they're used. There's reasons for all that. It's not just arbitrary numbers. And let a guy make some money. You know, whether it's you or me or anybody else selling a pedal, buying a pedal, buying or selling a used guitar, or, you know, let's let each other make some money. I mean, that's how we all do it. I mean, and I'm actually not even speaking about my business. I'm not even speaking about Dylan pickups or any of that stuff. That stuff is all set. You know, those prices, you go to the website at DylanPickups.com and those prices are what they are. I'm just talking about me and you trading around pedals and keeping the value of pedals and guitars and stuff like that, and keeping the value of that stuff up and keeping each other going. Because truthfully, especially when it comes to the more expensive stuff, us musicians keep each other going. We buy and sell from each other, and I mean, let's face it, I'm selling a guitar right now to buy another one from somebody else, from one of my other buddies. And this other buddy of mine is selling one so that he can buy one from me. And I'm selling this pedal so that I can buy this other pedal, or we're trading around, or we're doing this and that. We're keeping each other alive. So if we're beating each other up over $5 or $10 over every little thing, we're taking money from ourselves as a community. That's really all we're doing. It just doesn't make sense to do that. And for the guys who are really trying to make it on the business side, let them make it. Especially the ones that are really good, and talk about them, and really let them make it. I mean, I think that's the thing. I don't have so much of a problem with that myself, but because I work with a lot of boutique builders, I see that, especially on the resale side. People are afraid to buy stuff because of resale. And that's just people beating each other up over nothing. Because if it's a good guitar, it's a good guitar. That's all there is to it. If it's a good amp, it's a good amp. That's all there is to it. So it's worth it, you know. And you might say, well, I've never heard of it, so it's not worth it to me. Well, then move along and let somebody else, because it's good. If the stuff is good, it's good. And that's all there is. So anyway, that's my little thing about value today. Check us out, DylanPickups.com, DylanTalksTone.com. And the air is getting spicy in here. I gotta flip this food, so I'll catch up with you soon.